So in front of me here, I have a knife that I found at a flea market, Roots Country Market and Auction, I believe is the full name. We just call it Roots, where I'm from, but it's in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I used to go there a lot. I don't go there as much anymore because I moved, like an hour and 15, 20 minutes away from there. But they're only open on Tuesdays. And there's a whole like parking lot gravel grass area that's full of like kind of like guys with like stuff you'd see at like a yard sale, like basically just random junk. And that's always my favorite spot to go to because there's usually a couple guys that have a few knives, usually nothing super exciting. But I found this. And I think the guy only wanted $10 for this. So I believe I paid $10 for this knife. But this is a TL-29. Believe it's an earlier one. I don't know how to date these things. It's got the wooden handles TL-29 stamped into it. And then this one is made by Schrade. Just point out here if it'll show it. Schrade. Let me see if I can get that a little clearer here. Maybe a little clearer. Let's see if I can get the Schrade Cut Co. Let me see. It's easier. It's probably not going to be easier to see if they have stock because of the lock. Schrade Cut Co. I believe it says Walden, New York, because that's what it would say. But yeah, Schrade Cut Co. I believe it says Walden, New York. Perhaps that's easier to see there. If I can get it cleaned off fully here, maybe we'll be able to read it. Yeah, that certainly says Walden, New York. So I don't know the date of this. You guys that are like Schrade collectors or TL-29 collectors or something, vintage knife guys, maybe you'll know a little more about this. I'm not super versed on dates of pocket knives and stuff. I just saw it was a TL-29 with wooden handles. I picked it up, saw the tang stamp said Schrade Cut Co, and I bought it because the guy wanted like $10 for it, like I said. And it has a screwdriver blade here too. Oh, wow. That'd have been way easier if I had just flipped out the screwdriver blade. So right there's the tang stamp. Of course, this being a TL-29, screwdriver blade locks open. This is an electrician's knife, if you're not familiar. It has a spear blade main and a screwdriver secondary. Screwdriver locks open. That would be your screwdriver for undoing like switch panels and stuff. And then it's got a little bit of a sharpened part here for like stripping wires and stuff. Yeah, a pretty typical pattern that dates back to like World War II-ish, I think. Okay, I forgot about the AC unit. I'm hoping you guys cannot hear the AC, although you might be able to. I'm not sure. So I'll have to look at this then and see how loud it is and decide if I want to just refilm this entire thing. But anyway, Schrade Walden made TL-29, or Schrade Cut Co. made TL-29. Does look like it had a bail on it at some point that's no longer there. The wood looks really good. It's probably either ebony or cocobolo, because that was a pretty standard wood back in the day. And they both would have ended up very dark by now. But yeah, I mean, this knife's in pretty good condition considering how old I think it is. I'm not sure how old exactly it is and everything. But it's in pretty good condition overall. The blade hasn't been sharpened down to nothing, which is nice. If you wanted to, you could still, use this knife if you wanted to. It's just probably going to go in my like old vintage knife collection is where it's going to go. I don't really carry those knives. I just keep them in like a little display case kind of. But yeah, I mean, really cool find, I thought. I don't have any idea how to date this knife. It could be from around the World War II era with the wooden handles and everything. or it might be later than that. The fact that it has brass liners and stuff kind of makes me think maybe it's not that old because, you know, with the war on, they wouldn't be using brass for stuff like this. It would have been steel probably. But that being said, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were allowed to use brass in pocket knives for some reason. I don't know why they would be able to. Um, but yeah. So anyway, cool find for not a lot of money. I thought. If you guys have any more information on, you know, how old we think this knife is, let me know because I honestly have no idea. I just I don't really collect TL-29s. I have a few of them because, especially like the later made Camillus ones with the plastic handles and everything, fairly affordable, well made knives that like they're useful. They have a screwdriver and they have a spear blade. Really useful little knife, and I think they're really cool. Um, but I don't really collect them or really know that much about them. I just know that, you know, they're good knives and everything. And the later made ones you can find for, you know, fairly inexpensive, and they make good knives to carry even today. But as far as dating this one, I have no idea. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video on this Schrade Cut Co. TL-29. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a good day.